Welcome to another unbagging video from theplayersaide.com. I'm Grant. Today I am unbagging Wing Leader Blitz 1939 to 1942. This is the first Wing Leader expansion. There it says it at the top, Wing Leader expansion number 1. The game is designed by Lee Brimacombe Wood and is published by GMT Games. Unfortunately, this is an expansion, so you will need to have specifically Wing Leader victories in order to play this. We have Wing Leader Supremacy, and we have enjoyed that considerably. I know that there is a Wing Leader expansion that was just recently announced on the P500 called Wing Leader Eagles, which focuses on aircraft between 1943 and 1945, so late war aircraft. That game, I think you need Wing Leader Supremacy to play. So great looking cover. The art on these games is always fantastic. And I would have to say I love games about the air war. There's no doubt both Alexander and I enjoy them. It's just awesome to be able to fly on a three-dimensional mindset where you're not necessarily bound by terrain and other things. Obviously, you're affected by clouds and other planes coming in, but really a free game that we have enjoyed playing quite a bit. I think it's one of those games that I wish we had more time to play again over and over again, but unfortunately, we've got a lot of games to look at. So yeah, this is great art. This is a Soviet, I believe it's a Soviet Yak. I might be wrong there. But you can see it's hunting down a German, I don't know, Me-109 potentially. So somebody who's an expert, go ahead and correct me. But you'll see that this expansion actually has quite a bit in it. And this expansion just came out in December of 2017. So it is brand spanking new. It was shipped in 17. So this game comes with 16 new aircraft cards, 10 new scenarios, and it has a campaign system where you can string a bunch of scenarios together to play those out. You can see that it includes Darwin, Calkin-Goal, Port Moresby, so a lot of stuff in the Australian area, the Battle of France, Operation Pedestal, and then Operation Barbarossa. So that's where you're going to use a lot of your Soviet aircraft. So let's go ahead and get this open. GMT does a fantastic job with these expansions and the polybag. Look how easy this slides out. No resistance at all. If you watch some of my other more recent unbaggings, you can see me struggling with getting the games out of the bags because they're just too tight. This bag actually has a lot of room. So once again, that art is amazing. And now that you can see it without the plastic over it, it's just absolutely fantastic. And the Wing Leader system has done a great job of using fantastic art to set the thematic feel of the aircraft, and so you know what you're getting into. But this is the rules. This is semi-gloss, pretty non-dense rule book. There's actually a lot of examples. Here are some of the scenarios. So most of this rule book, let me go ahead and get back there. Yeah, so it looks like the rules are about 16 pages, and you're obviously going to have to use the rules from the base system. These are just additional rules or changes, but then a majority of this booklet is the actual scenarios, the new scenarios themselves. Here's scenario B01, Buffalo Wings. This is in Burma during 1941. So you're flying against the Japanese Air Force, and you're using RAF fighters. Very cool. Here's a look at another Into the Cauldron, which was listed on the front, scenario B02. This is in Belgium of 1940, so Germans versus French. So there are French raiders. So that's pretty cool. Scenario 3 is the Old Guard. Amiens, 5th of June, 1940. This has the German as the defenders and the French aircraft as the raiders. Here's another one. We'll look at just a couple of more. Operation Tapir, Paris, 3rd of June, 1940. So once again, French versus German. Here's an example, scenario B5. You've got Soviet versus Japanese. Another example is some British versus German. Here we go, Operation Pedestal. This is a mini campaign. So you're going to play Operation Pedestal in the morning as scenario B06. Then B07, you're going to do Operation Pedestal midday. That's pretty cool. So you can check that out there. And then you're going to finish that up in the evening, scenario B08 called Evening, Operation Pedestal. And then this one looks like this is a campaign annex. So maybe it's another example of a different day or midday part. And then here's Port Moresby, Yanks over Darwin. So lots of great scenarios there. There's a look at the rule book. Once again, they do a great job. Here is a player aid, has the sequence of play specifically for the campaign. So you're going to follow this to try and figure out how to play the campaign. Here are a couple of tables, cloud tables and sun position. If you remember from Wing Leader, if you've ever played it, you can dive out of the sun and you can almost be invisible, which gives you certain advantages. Plus diving gives you certain advantages. So you're definitely going to always want to try to use the tactical elements of planes and try to figure out how to get the advantage over on your enemy. So here is the Operation Barbarossa campaign as well. So this is a player aid that's going to help you with that. That's kind of cool. I mentioned those aircraft cards, and these I think are the best part of the game. I know when we got these for Supremacy, we spent a lot of time just popping these out and looking them over. So I'll give you an example here. This is a Russian medium bomber. You can see there's the different statistics it has from speed to turning and climb. And then it also has a category there for bombing. So yeah, pretty cool. And then they always have a lot of great historical information on the back. And then it even looks like there are certain variants for that, the DB3 and the IL4. So yeah, there's a look, but you can see there's a ton of different new planes that you're going to use. There's an Italian Falco 2. There you have a British. There is, I said, so there's a Soviet fighter. Remember earlier I mentioned that it was a Yak. It looks like it's the Ishak. So I was close with the Yak. There's an example of those. Here's a couple more Russian fighters. They look awful chunky and most likely slow. But there's a look at some of those. Here's some of the others. We'll just real quickly go through them. Some U.S. fighters. There's some other British fighters there. I saw a bomber there. Nope, didn't see it. Yep, a light bomber and a medium bomber there on the right side. There's a Japanese fighter there. So lots of options here, lots of different elements that you're going to use. And these aren't the counters. The counters, we'll look at the counters in a minute. These are like the information and statistic cards that you're going to simply use, put out in front of you so that you know the capabilities and limitations of the units that you are using. There's a Spitfire. Those Hurricanes and Spitfires are incredible. Let's look at the very last one. You got a couple more Italian fighters, another Russian fighter. Here is the Bf-109E German fighters. Really cool. And then a couple more Japanese. So there's an example. I think it said 16 new aircraft cards. Actually, it looks like there's a lot more than that. Yeah, it said 16 new aircraft. There's a lot more in there than that. Maybe they're counting, like for instance, the P-40B and P-40E, maybe they're counting those as the same type of aircraft, so those cards don't count individually. But there's a lot of cards there to look at. Here's a look at the counters, and the counters are really, really great. So once again, these are what you're going to use tactically on the board, and if you've not played Wing Leader, the board is very underwhelming. It is a light blue board, literally, which represents the sky. There's no terrain. You're flying in the sky. The terrain is actually added with clouds and the sun, etc., that you put in different positions. But here's a look at those counters. Not going to show you every one of them, but just to give you a look at some of those. Really nice looking. There's some administrative counters as well. And then you go to the backs. Really the same thing. So nice looking counters. Here's some flak batteries, which are kind of cool. I know some of these missions you're actually going to be attacking those. I think there's also, is this an aircraft carrier? Yeah, so here's an aircraft carrier that you're going to be attacking during one of the campaigns, and that will be at the very bottom of the map, and you'll have to dive bomb. Once you fight off the fighters, you'll be able to dive bomb. Here's yeah, and I'm not exactly sure. This is just like the campaign tracker. This is Drive on Kiev, which is that Operation Barbarossa campaign that they have. Just kind of the administrative side of the game, but nice looking game, as these always are. Beautiful counters, fantastic airplanes, aircraft cards. You can see there's a lot in this expansion. There's a lot here for you to explore, play, and enjoy. We've really enjoyed Wing Leader. It's something that, once again, I'd like more time to play and try out. So we'll see how that goes. But there you have it. Unbagging for Wing Leader Blitz, the first expansion for the Wing Leader system from GMT Games. This is an awesome looking product, and I think it's going to be fun. And if you enjoy Wing Leader, I think this is something you most likely already have purchased and are using and enjoying. So if you like the video, go ahead and click like, and also subscribe so you can catch up on our other videos and new content coming out. We'll try our best to share all games that we get and try to help you understand whether, once again, they're a good investment for you or not. We always try to judge games on how they're playable. Are they fun? Are the rules understandable? Did we enjoy it? Or was it like dragging your fingernails across the chalkboard? And we don't necessarily play games like that. We like to play things that are fun. So anyway, thanks for watching. I've been Grant from theplayersaide.com.